morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles.
And I am Bob.
Hello, Bob. It's lovely to see you.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This week, I'd like to talk a little bit about where was the wisdom before?
Yeah, where were you when I needed you?
Are you late in bloom, growing into wisdom? Where was the wisdom before? Hey everyone, welcome back to Jar of Marbles, the podcast where we talk about growth, change, and the strange way life only makes sense looking backward. I'm Linda.
And I'm Bob.
I think we've already done that.
Yeah, I think we have.
And today's episode is one I think a lot of us will feel in our bones. It's called Where Was the Wisdom Before? Because honestly, how many times have you looked back at a past version of yourself and thought, how could I have not seen that?
I know.
Why did it take so long to understand something so simple?
Right?
Where was this clarity 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40, etc.?
Under a rock?
I'd say yes.
Yeah, I dusted once, came back, not falling for that again.
And here's the funny thing about wisdom. It really arrives on time. It's like that one friend who's always late to dinner but shows up with the best stories.
Well, best they have half a decent story.
Yeah, at least two right, Bob.
I just planted some birdseed. Hope it's an eagle.
I hope so too, for your sake, Bob. We wait, we stumble, we fall, and then sometimes only after the bruises fade comes the insight.
Yeah, but why?
Never during the storm, but after it. So why does this happen? Why does wisdom come late?
I hope we're going to break it down.
Is it that myth of instant clarity? Is that even real? We live in a culture obsessed with knowing everything now.
Tell me now.
Quick answers, fast success, instant clarity, but wisdom just doesn't work like that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
What, Bob?
Me at age 19, I could eat 2 doner kebabs and 6 Krispy Kreme donuts at midnight. I'd lose 4 pounds. Now, I go up a shirt size from swallowing my own spit.
Yeah, true, yeah. It's not a fact you memorise, it's an experience you live through.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Wisdom is what you learn or you earn after making the wrong call multiple times.
Oh, yeah, that's me, yeah.
And often you can't see the truth because you're still too close to the noise, the trauma, the conditioning, and going through whatever it is you're going through, you know, your life. And so when you're too close to the noise, it's hard to hear yourself think. We've all felt that somewhere along the line.
The first 5 days after the weekend are the hardest, you know.
Always. The static of everyone else's expectations, the hum of survival, the clamour of the past, there is a time when you are simply experiencing and there may not be much thinking going on.
Oh, yes, how sage.
You can't see clearly when you're inside the storm.
Oh, yeah, very wise. Very wise.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Every decision feels urgent. Every feeling feels final. Sometimes you cannot possibly know that a decision needs to be made and it's not, or that all of what surrounds you is about to implode and will never be the same again.
And you don't know that it is or isn't urgent at all. Every weekend I say to myself, Harry, you have to stop drinking wine. Thankfully, I'm not Harry.
Yeah. There's no room for perspective when all you know is reaction. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Trauma doesn't whisper, it shouts. It rewires your instincts. It could teach you to flinch at kindness, maybe to run from stillness, to brace for things that haven't happened yet.
Behind every husband who thinks he wears the pants is a wife who told him which pants to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're raised on instability, your foundation cracks early. You learn to build your life on reflex, not reflection. So you make choices that feel safe, even if they're just familiar.
Nothing refreshes my memory of what I need at the grocery store is like coming home from the grocery store.
Oh my God, that's so true. Still, you could have had a life where nothing really ever went wrong and then it all implodes and perhaps have no skills at all to surf it well or at all. Hashtag, where was the wisdom before? We do tend to gravitate toward pain we recognise because at least we know how to live with it. And when you're young, you think intensity means truth. You haven't lived long enough to know that chaos isn't passion, that loud doesn't mean right, and that silence isn't always empty. You chase what burns, thinking fire is the same as light, but you haven't seen enough sunrises to know the difference yet.
Oh, that's dope. Muffins spelt backwards is exactly what you do when you take them out of the oven.
It is? Oh, sniff 'em. Good one, Bob.
Yeah, sniff 'em, then stick 'em down your pie hole, I say.
Good on you.
Yeah.
We wonder why we make bad decisions. We shame ourselves for what we didn't know. But wisdom isn't instant, it's earned. My mum used to say you can't put an old head on young shoulders.
Oh, that sounds a bit grotesque.
Yeah, getting our stripes, being able to truly tap into our own wisdom is a time thing, and mostly a lot of time thing.
I mean, where do you find an old head? Does it cost much?
Yeah. Good on you. Wisdom can be built on the ruins of every wrong turn, every broken trust, every I should have known better, we whispered too late.
Would the old head be found in a freezer?
No, Bob. Wisdom arrives slowly, wrapped in experience and hindsight, and it doesn't shout.
I'm going to start shouting if someone doesn't tell me about the bloody head.
It speaks gently when we're finally quiet enough to listen.
So the head?
It's simply a saying explaining that wisdom hasn't been acquired, Bob. The head for the young person represented by the shoulders.
Oh, yeah, nah, pass, forget it.
So if you've made choices that hurt, that backfired, that left scars, know this. You were too close to the noise. You hadn't reached that still point yet. You weren't foolish, you were just uninformed. You weren't broken, you were still becoming.
I stopped understanding math when the alphabet decided to get involved.
It's a bit random.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Wait on wisdom, it's coming. And when it does, it will feel like coming up for air, like seeing clearly for the first time, like finally remembering who you were before the world told you who to be.
People who work in customer service should be allowed to fight one customer per day.
This is from years ago, Bob, and needs to be updated because in 2025 it should be at least 3 people or 4. We ask, where was my wisdom when I chose that toxic partner? The truth? It was growing slowly in the background.
That moment when you have something important to say but you're waiting for the person who's talking to stop talking, but when they do you forget what you were going to say?
Me, or they change the subject so your comment becomes totally irrelevant.
Then they have the nerve to ask what you were going to say. It's absolute nothing now.
Yeah, that can happen, Bob, yeah. So back in the day, you were learning what not to tolerate. Sometimes wisdom is a delayed reward for pain endured.
I swear, people go to the cafe and just say random words like, I have a grande ice mocha, no foam, dry soy, hexagon, vortex hypothesis with steamed ice. I mean, what?
And that'll be $18.57, please.
Yeah, don't forget the extra steamed rice, please.
Yeah, it can be a bit complicated. The role of ego, fear and naivete definitely has its place. Sometimes we don't gain wisdom earlier because, well, we weren't ready. Our ego might have been too loud, our fear too blinding, our youth too convinced it already knew everything. And I remember that. I remember actually thinking that when I was about 17. A couple of things had happened and I remember thinking, I know everything now. Actually thinking that. How naive, how blissfully young was I.
Oh, yes, I remember thinking I knew everything.
Beautiful youth.
Yeah, no, but that was yesterday.
Have you ever reread a book or rewatched a movie and seen entire new meanings that weren't there before?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, that's food for thought.
It is. They were always there, but you weren't. We don't just grow old, we grow into ourselves. And that's when the deeper truths finally click.
I used to be able to do cartwheels. Now I tip over putting on my underwear.
But hey, would you even have listened back then? Let's be honest, if someone had given you the same advice 10 years ago or 30, 40, 50 years ago, would you have even listened? Or would you have thought, they don't get it?
Yeah, drinking a large amount of water every day helps you avoid other people's drama because you're too busy peeing.
Stay hydrated. Solid call there, Bob. I need to figure it out my way. And sometimes you do need to figure it out your way. That's how you earn the wisdom. through friction, through getting it wrong. Maybe the question isn't where was the wisdom before, but would I have been capable of receiving it?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, would I have been capable of receiving it? I would say no. So life, our lives, my life.
My life?
Yeah, not much will go to plan. Some does, and that's fair. But overall, I found myself like all of us down paths that were not of our choosing, and that's okay. Life doesn't follow a script. There are and will be unexpected turns, surprises, losses, all guaranteed in some form.
Is that where we find the bag of wisdom?
I think so, Bob. If not wisdom, memories at the very least. Every detour brings stories, perhaps love, definitely opportunity for growth.
Well, what does that mean?
You can learn or you can go on repeat and blame the world if you're not taking notice.
Oh, yeah, righto. That's the old embrace the journey stuff, isn't it?
Yes, and that's what truly moves us forward. And if we're on the ball, we may even grab ourselves some emotional intelligence along the way. So the gift of late wisdom. If wisdom comes late, that doesn't mean it's worthless. It means it's been tested. It means it comes with context, with nuance.
Late wisdom is a bit of a nuisance, all right.
No, I was saying nuance.
Yeah, I know that. So what happens when nuance comes to town?
A moment to rest and bask in wisdom. When nuance comes to town, things quiet down. The noise of quick conclusions, blunt opinions, and binary choices gives way to a softer, steadier hum. One that invites listening rather than shouting. It's like a long-lost friend returning, not with answers, but with the right kind of questions.
Oh, yeah, I love that. The right kind of questions.
Yeah, love it. In nuance's presence, you don't feel pressured to perform your certainty. You get to rest, not because all confusion has vanished, but because the pressure to be right now is gone.
Except I'm usually right.
Well, there's that, Bob, quite right. There's space to say, I don't know, without shame, and space to hear, it depends, without frustration. This is where wisdom finds its chair. Wisdom doesn't shout over the crowd. It waits until the room can hear, and when nuance arrives, the room can hear.
You know, people in therapy are often in therapy to deal with the people in their lives who won't go to therapy.
You've observed that, Bob?
Yeah, I have.
Suddenly, paradox isn't a problem, it's a path. Contradictions aren't threats. They're truths that haven't been unwrapped yet. Complexity isn't chaos, it's context, finally given its due.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sometimes I tell people different stories about my life.
So when they gossip, they'll argue?
Yeah, something like that. Love it. In that space, you bask. Not in the kind of wisdom that hands you a conclusion or walks away, but in the kind that sits beside you, holds your questions thoughtfully and nods as you think out loud.
Oh, I do love a good nod.
This is the wisdom that doesn't need to win. It just needs to be heard. And when nuance comes, it is. So when nuance comes to town, it's very much a different time in your life. You can just put down your sword. There's nothing to fight. You really couldn't be blowed. You couldn't be bothered. Your priorities are different. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to wonder. And most importantly, you're allowed to grow. Really never liked that word allowed. But in this instance, allowed, the word, the verb.
The doing verb.
Yeah, it's really allowing, giving yourself full permission to do you and be you.
I've got a soft heart and a savage mouth. I'm like a Hallmark card written by Gordon Ramsay.
Quite good.
Yeah, I thought so.
Wisdom that shows up late, shows up earned. And here's the good news. Now that you have it, you get to pass it on to your friends, your kids, your community. Maybe they'll listen, maybe they won't. But the point is you get to be part of that timeless chain of people who learned, grew and shared. And I love that. Thinking back when others, usually women who gave me pearls of their wisdom, which then I tucked under my hat and sometimes remembered over the passing years, finally understood truly what they were saying.
No matter how good a person you are, you're the asshole in someone's story.
Oh, yeah, that can be true too, Bob. So if you're feeling late to the game, behind on the lessons, or like your growth came after too much struggle, you're not alone. Wisdom has its own timeline.
I was told the other day that my ears will continue to grow for all time and my nose. It's not true. Tell me it's not true.
Great question, and one that many people wonder about. As people get older, their ears and noses can appear to get bigger, and this happens for a couple of key reasons.
Oh, Godfathers, why?
Cartilage never really stops growing. Ears and noses are mostly made of cartilage, not bone. And unlike bones, cartilage continues to grow and change shape with age.
So much to look forward to.
Although it's not usually drastic.
Change shape, well,
This gradual growth can cause ears and noses to become more prominent over time.
now that just sucks. I did not expect you to say any of that.
Well, life can feel like being dropped into a game without a manual, can't it, at times? I remember saying that when I had 3 kids under the age of 12 and there's no blinking manual.
Where's the manual?
You wake up, you fulfill the basics, you eat, sleep, go to school, be nice, do your homework, but no one really gives you the actual rules, the real ones, the ones that dictate who gets ahead, who finds peace, who breaks through, and who stays stuck.
When I die, I don't want anyone to come to my funeral. I will come to visit you.
Oh, please don't.
Nah, I will.
So you stumble through your life for a while, you take hits, you learn what hurts, what heals, what feels like truth, and what tastes like a lie dressed in a smile.
I'm so sick of problems. I want rich people's problems like, where do I park my yacht?
The captain will park it for you, Bob, no worries.
Yeah, I think I'll be parking mine in the bath.
You get heartbroken, you fail, you try to follow someone else's path and wonder why it doesn't feel right. That's the beginning. That's the part where you learn what not to do.
Oh, the learning of what not to do trick. Yes, yes.
Then one day, if you're paying attention, really paying attention, you start to see the hidden mechanics.
You know, Patrick Swayze's been dead for 15 years and they haven't made Ghost 2 yet.
Yeah, true, Bob.
Yeah, I notice things.
You do. And with this wisdom gig, you realise mindset is everything, that energy is contagious, that people treat you based on how you treat yourself.
Oh, Miss Self-Worth, please stand and take a bow.
Correct. But look after you, babes. Look after you. That fear is a compass, not a wall. That action beats intention every single time. You begin to learn that your thoughts shape your reality, that boundaries are a form of self-love, and that time is your most valuable currency.
First 5 days after the weekend are always the hardest.
Very true, Bob. Very true. So you see how beliefs form your world and that you can change those beliefs. You can rewrite the rules. My favourite part.
Rewriting the rules.
And that's where the magic begins. You stop playing small, you stop waiting for permission, you stop trying to be normal because you realise normal is a cage and you were never meant to live inside it.
Ah, the acquiring of wisdom.
Yeah, you start designing your life instead of reacting to it. Your inner priority list takes on a different course. You find the people who get it, the ones who stopped pretending, the ones chasing the spark, not the script.
Takes real skills to choke on air, you know, fall over, fall going upstairs, trip over a blade of grass, but I am here to tell you that I am a master of all those skills.
How random, but so you, Bob.
Yep, it's a bobism for free. That's a free bobism.
Thank you, Bob. When wisdom enters the building, you speak the language of growth, of grit, and a very cool kind of happiness. You use the tools, meditation, movement, mindset, momentum, sports, whatever it is, you've got pivoting down pat.
A pivot master.
You've been laughing at yourself for a long time. You learn that the game isn't about winning. You don't even bother playing the game, and you have damn good fun doing it.
Well, I'm looking forward to my wisdom stalk. Yeah, wouldn't mind me a bit of that.
Because once you see how it works, once you crack the code, you realise life isn't about grinding through until it's over. It's about creating, connecting, evolving, enjoying. It becomes an instinctive drive, the whole living thing. It's not a test, it's an adventure.
I prefer to describe myself as delightfully difficult, and it would be just easier if you agreed.
Oh, I do agree.
Yeah, good, thank you.
That's all right, Bob. So play smart, play bold, learn the rules so you can bend them to, what you need them to be. Break the ones that don't serve you, and for the love of everything, have fun while you're here. And this I found by Nania Hoffman. None of us are getting out alive, so please stop treating yourself like an afterthought. Eat the delicious food, walk in the sunshine, jump in the ocean, say the truth that you're carrying in your heart like hidden treasure. Be silly, be kind, be weird. There's no time for anything else. And that's the end of this episode, Bob.
Surely you jest.
No jesting, but we'll be back next week.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to Jar of Marbles. dwellers. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And remember, it's never too late to grow. It's never too late to know.
It's never too late to grow a big nose or a whopping big set of ears.
Thanks for that, Bob.
Yeah, it's all right.
So, say good day to the family for me. Give the hippopotamus a shovel. And we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then. Bye.
Bye!